Good afternoon. My name is Kira McCoy, and this is my TQA Colt starting Phase 2 video for spring of 2023. The video is over Milo, who is a 3-year-old Bay filly. We follow the TQA guidelines, which stands for Training Quality Assurance, with the goal of eliminating resistance while doing a job and attaining the training trifecta, which is foundation, task completion, and temperament. We use the TQA score sheets to score them weekly on how they are doing. We score them from a -3 to a +3. -3 meaning they need work and they would not be able to fill in for an inexperienced client or owner, and +3 they would be able to fill in for a client or inexperienced owner. These are Milo's score sheets, and as you can see, Milo has been improving each week substantially, which is a great thing. Now, before we begin, some important terms to note is willing submission, which is after the initial cue, the horse performs the task on a loose rein with no leg pressure. It is the horse's idea. And horizontal direction, which is when the slack is taken out of the reins, the horse puts slack back into the reins with suppleness through the pole and loin. Now to begin our video. For reviewing groundwork, I gave her a +2. We have improved a lot in our groundwork, and I'm liking where we are right now. We make sure still to do some groundwork in Phase 2, but we're trying to do as little as possible, and we're really just reviewing to see that they're ready to put the saddle on. Now to move on to stand to saddle, I gave her a +2, and I just sped this up because it does take a little bit, and I didn't want this to be a 3-minute long piece of the video. For bridling, I gave her a +1, and we are now able to not have to have the halter on when we're riding and putting the bridle on, which is nice to see. It now just goes around her neck to make sure she can't get away if anything does go wrong. And as you can see, Milo has really improved in her bridling. Now moving on for horizontal direction in and away, I gave her a +2. And we really just ask really slowly for them to bend their head towards us, and then we use our hand at the back near their flank to ask for that hind to move around. And this is kind of using your hand to pretend that it's your leg, and this is just something that we do before getting on them to make sure that they are recognizing the bridle is what is directing them. It really helps with doubling when you're on top of them and really prepares them for the feeling of something behind them pulling them around. For on the side, I gave her a +2. And this is what we do to prepare before getting on them. It's just to make sure that they are comfortable with weight on their side and making sure they are comfortable with moving around with a human on top of them. It's a lot safer than just hopping on and not knowing what's about to happen. It's a good way to test the foundation and make sure they are ready to go. So something else that we do before getting on them is preparing for the rope on the ground before we rope them on top of them. And we do this by moving them around this and asking for stage 1 and for them to face up to it. And stage 1 can be defined as stopping the inside front foot and the other feet walking forward around it. For stand to get on, I gave her a +3, and for standing in horizontal direction, I gave her a +2. I gave her a +3 for standing to get on because she really does just perfectly stand there and doesn't even think about moving away, which is really nice to see and nice to feel. And for the standing horizontal direction, the reason I gave her a positive 2 is because she's moving her head around nice and soft and doesn't need a lot of pressure. For walking, doubling, I gave her a positive 2, and doubling is just a combination of horizontal direction and stage 1. It is an emergency stop, and it is the stop that we teach the colts at the beginning just to make sure we always have some way to stop them if something starts going wrong and we just want to stop and take a second. For trotting at a double, I gave her a positive 2 as well. She's really improved a lot in this. She does it within 3 steps, which is the big goal of ours. You bring your hand down, you ask for the double, and if they respond within 3 steps, they're doing it right, and they are attaining what we want. For loping at the double, I gave her a positive 1. She does really move out nice and soft in the lope, which is really nice to see, but she does kind of like trip around on herself a little bit and gets a little hectic when she does ask, but I do like the fact that she responds still, though, in the 3 steps and is responding to the rein when asked. She's just trying to figure out really how to move her body around still, I think. So for loping in a straight line outside, I didn't get a really long clip of it, but I gave her a positive 2 because she really does lope out nice and straight, very willingly away from the barn, which is nice to see. For stage 2 standing, I gave her a positive 2, which can be defined as the hindquarters pulling the horse in reverse motion. And for stage 2 walking, I gave her a positive 1. The goal of this is to work towards a 2-rein stop, and this is just how we work towards that. For horizontal direction walking, I gave her a positive 2. And as you can see, we use something in the center to help the colts keep focused on and look at something. It really helps them start making a circle and learn how to make circles. And as you can see, when she is on the line that Hannah wants, she has her hand down, but when she starts straying away from the circle, she picks up the rein a little bit and asks for her to stay on her line. And Milo does a really great job at this. She very willingly moves back when asked. She just kind of looks away sometimes. For horizontal direction as slow trot, I gave her a positive 1 because as you can see at the slow trot, Hannah has to pick up her hands a few more times to make sure that Milo is staying on her line. And that's why I gave her a positive 1 instead of a positive 2. But I still think she's doing a really good job at this and is really doing great at making circles. Now for our last thing, which is stage 3 on the fence, which I gave her a positive 1 for. And stage 3 can be defined as lateral movement of the front and hind feet together. So this is just working on a side pass. So what we do for this is that we walk them down the fence a little bit, making sure they're walking down. Then we start asking for a 1-2. And as you can see right there, she gave us a 1-2 of a side pass. So Hannah stopped her and petted on her. And then she's going to bring her back this way, walking her down the fence, asking for that hind to move around and asking for a 1-2 of a lateral movement of the legs together. And right around here, she's going to get it right here, 1-2. That was perfect. She's still learning how to do this, so that's a great first step. And that is it. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.